pie crust. For this recipe you will need all-purpose flour, cold butter, ice cold water, salt. Before we begin, remember to always wash your hands thoroughly before making anything in the kitchen. In a food processor, begin by combining 60 tablespoons of flour, wash your hands, with 1 teaspoon of salt. Wash your hands afterwards. Next, gently pulse 2 to 3 times. Wash your hands. Add in your diced butter. Do try not to get it all over the place. Carefully wash your hands. Blend until combined. Scrape down the sides of the mixing bowl. Next, remove the attached bowl and transfer to a medium-sized glass bowl. Scrape down the sides as needed. Using a rubber spatula, gently press the dough into itself. Wash your hands. At this point, the dough should be cohesive enough to begin kneading with your hands. Your dough is ready when you can pinch a small portion and it sticks together. Wash your hands. If your dough is still too crumbly, now would be the time to add a few tablespoons of ice-cold water. Wipe down your work surface. Wash your hands. Transfer your dough over to a clean surface and finish forming into a sphere. Once this is done, you may divide your dough into smaller pieces and wrap in plastic to refrigerate for a minimum of 1 hour. Remember to wash your hands afterwards. Classic American breakfast. For this recipe you will need all-purpose flour, baking powder, granulated sugar, salt, milk, butter, eggs, sliced bacon. Wearing gloves, combine in a medium-sized bowl 24 tablespoons of flour, 3½ teaspoons of baking powder, a tablespoon of sugar, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Next, gently whisk together and create a small well in the middle. Into the well, pour 1¼ cups of milk, 3 tablespoons of melted butter, and crack 1 large egg. Now whisk together until fully combined. In a cold, ungreased pan, arrange your slices of bacon. Turn up the heat and begin to fry. Once fully cooked, place aside. Into the still hot pan, crack 2 eggs. Season with salt and pepper to taste, and flip. Once fully cooked, place aside as well. Using the same pan, begin to fry your pancake batter. Flip once bubbles begin to form, and place aside once golden brown on both sides. Finally, arrange everything on a plate, and drizzle maple syrup over the pancakes. Looks quite nice, doesn't it? But don't forget, looks can be deceiving. Let's go back for a moment. Notice how the tongs you used to flip the bacon came into contact with it when it wasn't fully cooked, and again when it was. You know, there's this parasite called Trichinella spiralis. To be more specific, it's a species of roundworm. Do you know what that is? Evidently not, if your carelessness is anything to go by. It's most commonly found in pork. It breeds within the pig's intestines before permeating throughout its meat. It can do the same to you. You're not so different from a pig, you know. Occasionally though, it gets lost, burrowing into organ tissue instead of muscle. Do you know the survival rate for encephalitis? It's a rather grim fate, I assure you. Then there's the eggs. Do you not watch the news at all, or do you simply not care about the bird flu epidemic? That is, of course, putting aside the fact that you've fried them in contaminated bacon grease in a Teflon pan, and you're a fool if you think the pancakes are safe after all that. It seems that this classic American breakfast is better stored in the bin than in your stomach. Try again. Chicken pot pie. For this recipe, you will need all-purpose flour, skinless chicken breasts, carrots, onions, milk, salt, butter, sweet corn, chicken broth, pie crust. Begin by evenly dusting flour over a clean work surface. It's important to wear gloves during this step, as raw flour carries a risk of E. coli. Next, roll out your pie crust. Once you've transferred the dough into the mold, it's time to focus on the filling. Begin by dicing your chicken breasts into 1-inch cubes and adding them to a large pot. When handling raw chicken, it's vital to keep a close eye on anything it comes into direct contact with, as those things will now need to be decontaminated. In fact, it's better to simply not use these things ever again. Carefully remove your gloves and wash your hands. Now add in a cup of chopped carrots, before covering with water and bringing to a boil for 15 minutes. While that's boiling, place 85 grams of butter in a saucepan and bring to a medium-high heat. Once fully melted, add in your chopped onion and cook until it turns soft and translucent. After this, you will add in 85 grams of flour, being careful not to touch it with your bare hands. Season with salt and pepper. Slowly stir in 1 3/4 cups of chicken broth and 2/3 a cup of milk. open up a can of sweet corn and add it in its entirety. Allow the mixture to simmer until thick. Once your chicken and carrots have finished boiling, it's time to transfer them into the pie crust. Make sure to spread them out evenly before covering with your sauce mixture. Spread that out evenly as well, creating a smooth surface for the second layer of pie crust to lay upon. Roll out your second bowl of pie dough. Then carefully cover your pie. Press the dough into the edges, ensuring the filling is fully encased. Trim off the excess crust. Using a fork, clip the edges for an extra tight seal, along with a touch of decoration. Finally, cut slits into the pie for ventilation. Now it is time to bake. Place your pie into a preheated oven at 220 degrees Celsius and bake for 35 minutes. This will give you ample time to disinfect your entire kitchen. Once done, you will have a beautiful golden brown pie. Your kitchen is, of course, forever contaminated, but at least the pie turned out fine. Unless it didn't. I guess you'll simply have to find out. Most likely it's entirely safe to eat, but nothing in this life is ever entirely certain. Perhaps the pie is fine, but you'll still get salmonella from something else you didn't notice the chicken coming into contact with. I recommend disinfecting the kitchen again, and being extra careful about washing your hands before you eat. Oh, and throw away the pie. It's better not to take chances. Spaghetti Bolognese. For this recipe, you will need olive oil, garlic, onions, ground beef, diced tomatoes, tomato paste, Worcestershire sauce, dry red wine, beef stock cubes, spaghetti noodles, Parmesan cheese, bay leaves and thyme. Add 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil to a sauté pan and bring to a medium-high heat. Add in a finely chopped onion along with 2 minced cloves of garlic and cook until lightly golden brown and softened. After this, turn up the heat and add in your beef. Using a spatula, break up the beef as it cooks until all of it has turned brown. Next, add in half a cup of dry red wine. Simmer for 1 minute, or until the alcohol smell has disappeared. Add in 2 cans of diced tomatoes, along with 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Now add in 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce, 2 bay leaves, and 2 beef stock cubes. Season with thyme, salt, and black pepper. lower the heat to a medium and gently simmer for at least 30 minutes, stirring occasionally and adding water as needed. As the sauce simmers, bring a medium-sized pot of water to a boil. Salt the water. Add in your spaghetti. The cooking time will be determined by the packaging. Once boiled, strain your spaghetti. It's important to wash off any soap that might have been lurking in the pot. Now plate and enjoy. Enjoy dying from E. coli, that is. Throw it away. We'll find something else. Tuna casserole. For this recipe you will need fusilli pasta noodles, condensed cream of mushroom soup, shredded cheese, canned tuna, peas, sliced mushrooms, onions, potato chips. Begin by bringing a medium-sized pot of water to a boil. Once your water begins to heat, lightly salt it. When it's at a boiling boil, add in your pasta noodles and allow to fully cook. After this is done, remove from the heat and rinse off any residual soap. There was, of course, soap in the pot, as evidenced by the bubbles that formed when the pasta was added. Place your rinsed noodles in a bowl. Now, before adding in your cream of mushroom soup, check the best before date and carefully inspect the cans for any signs of damage. Be careful with the can opener, the edges are easily sharp enough to kill. And plus, you could maybe get tetanus or something if you cut yourself, I'm not entirely sure. Don't look it up. Add in your 2 cans of soup. Add 1 cup of shredded cheese. Now carefully open your tuna. Wash your hands. Use a fork to scrape the tuna out of the tin. Wash your hands again. Add in a can of peas. Next, add your sliced mushrooms. Hold on, did you remember to check the best before date on the canned peas? Oh, good lord. 3.5 years out of date. And to think, if I hadn't reminded you to check, you would have entirely missed it. You're lucky you aren't dead already if this is your usual approach to cooking. You're practically begging for botulism. Go wash your hands. Thoroughly. Well then, what happens now? Are you checking for signs of spoilage? Do you even know what you're looking for? According to online sources, canned foods should theoretically last forever, but then again, you can never be too sure about trusting what the internet says. Most likely you'll be fine, but there's always a chance, isn't there? Do you really want canned peas to be what kills you in the end? It's a bit anticlimactic. You could always throw caution to the wind, simply take a chance and continue with the recipe. I'm sure millions of people much less careful than you have eaten old peas and survived, but there's always those few who don't. Survivorship bias and all that. The safest option, as always, is to throw it out. And don't forget to wash your hands afterwards. Now that that disaster has been avoided, let's move on to the next recipe. Wait, what are you doing? It's not safe. I told you to throw it out. Come back! I see. You're scooping the piece out in the vain hope that by removing the contaminant you'll end up with something that's safe to consume. It's pathetic, really, and more than a bit disgusting to watch. I have to wonder, how long have you spent here, torn between the fear of an early death and the guilt over wasting food when others are starving? Perhaps it doesn't matter in the end, any of it. We all die eventually. But you'll keep prolonging it for as long as you can, even if you end up destroying yourself in the process. It's sad. You'll hardly ever become independent at this rate, too afraid to do anything that could be considered living. Hell, without the ability to feed yourself, you're hardly even surviving. Do you think a long life filled with constant fear and paranoia is a better alternative to a shorter, carefree one? Do you think your corpse will be able to tell the difference? Always one more left, isn't there? Go wash your hands. Well, the show must go on, I suppose. Using a large spoon, mix everything together. Nope, seems you still managed to miss one, after all. Wash your hands. Add in your chopped onions. Wash your hands. Continue to mix until everything is thoroughly combined. You know, there's probably more lurking in that you can't see. Do you really think this is going to save you? Once done, transfer to a casserole mold. Spread out evenly. Wash your hands again while you think about death and how utterly inevitable it is. Finish spreading out evenly. Finally, top off with a cup of crushed potato chips, as well as another cup of shredded cheese. Now bake in a preheated oven at 220 degrees Celsius for 15 to 20 minutes. What a waste. Throw it away. I guess we'll try something else. Toast. For this recipe you will need sliced bread. Open the bag of toast and place 2 slices in the toaster. Press down the lever. Once done toasting, remove and plate. You may now add a topping of your choice. Dinner is served. Jello salad. For this recipe you will need fresh strawberries, heavy whipping cream, strawberry flavoured jello, vanilla extract, crushed pineapple, cottage cheese. In a mixer or food processor, begin by combining a quarter cup of drained pineapple juice, half a cup of cottage cheese, and half a packet of jello. Blend until smooth. In a chilled glass bowl, combine a quarter cup of heavy cream, a teaspoon of granulated sugar, and a quarter teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now beat on high speed. Until stiff peaks begin to form. Carefully pour in your jello mixture. Gently fold together. Marvelous. Once this is done, you may add in your crushed pineapple, along with your sliced strawberries. Now fold together until fully combined. Transfer the mixture to a smaller bowl and refrigerate for a minimum of 2 hours. The result should be a Pepto-Bismol pink slop positively full of microplastics. A certified crowd pleaser, provided you exclusively socialize with people who have lost the will to live. Perfect for any gathering you didn't really want to go to anyway. You can't do this to people. Throw it away. Let's make something edible. Pineapple upside down cake. For this recipe you will need all-purpose flour, cornstarch, baking powder, baking soda, salt, dark brown sugar, granulated sugar, room temperature milk, sliced pineapple, room temperature butter, room temperature sour cream, room temperature eggs, maraschino cherries, vanilla extract. Into a glass mold, pour 4 tablespoons of melted butter. Next, sprinkle over half a cup of dark brown sugar. Carefully arrange your pineapple slices to cover the bottom of the mold. Cut your slices into half for the edges. Fill in the gaps with maraschino cherries and refrigerate. Now it's time to make the batter. To a medium-sized bowl, add 21 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Then add 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. Next up, 1 teaspoon baking powder, a quarter teaspoon baking soda, and half a teaspoon salt. Whisk together until fully combined. For the wet ingredients, add 85 grams of softened butter to a medium-sized bowl. Beat on high speed until smooth and creamy. Add 150 grams of granulated sugar. Beat on high speed until combined. Scrape down the sides of the bowl. Add in 2 large room temperature egg whites. Beat on high speed. Add 80 grams of room temperature sour cream along with a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Mix until combined. Now add in your dry ingredients and beat on low speed. Whilst mixing, slowly pour in 60 milliliters of pineapple juice before finally splashing in 2 tablespoons of room temperature milk. Beat on low speed until combined. Remove the topping from the refrigerator and carefully pour the cake batter on top. Bake in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 25 minutes. Remove from the oven and cover with aluminium foil. Now bake for an additional 25 minutes. Once the time is up, remove from the oven and take off the foil. Your cake is ready if a toothpick or knife stabbed into it comes out mostly clean. Transfer to a wire rack and allow to cool for at least 20 minutes. Once your cake has sufficiently cooled, it's time to flip it. Not quite. Perhaps we can still salvage this. And there you have it, a beautiful pineapple upside down cake. Go ahead, grab a slice. You've earned it, after all you've been through. Tastes sweet, doesn't it? Close your eyes. Enjoy it. You know, I read once somewhere that antifreeze tastes quite sweet as well. Not that it's related or anything. I mean, you would know. Okay? If there was antifreeze. I mean, how would antifreeze even get in there? It's the same as if asbestos got in there. Do you think there's asbestos in there? I mean, it's unlikely. It's... maybe? No. Don't worry. Okay, there's no asbestos, there's no antifreeze, there's no fiberglass. When did I think of fiberglass? It's fine. Enjoy your cake. Are you still enjoying it? You know what? Maybe we don't need cake. Okay, let's start again. Okay, let's take it back from the beginning. Try again.